Hi, Spartans. It's Mrs. Mchale, your library teacher, and I am here in the library with a great group of kids who are sitting on the carpet. And these are a great group of kids from Miss Vasquez's fourth grade class, and they are here to help me read aloud today. Right, guys? Say hi, everybody. Perfect. And we are going to read for our Tuesday theme, which is Wear Your Favorite. And you'll notice that I have my favorite hat on, and my favorite hat was made for me by my very nice, loving grandma. But my grandma is not with us anymore. But if she were alive today, you know, Robbie, we did do a practice round, so they kind of know. My grandma was born in 1911, and if she were alive today, 2023, everybody shout out, how old would my grandma be? 112. Okay. This was my very nice grandma. She used to knit. And when she gave me this hat, and when I wear it, I feel like it's a hug from my nan, who I miss so much. And I love this hat, and I'm going to wear this hat because it's my favorite. So today we're going to read a great story. It's a retold story, and it's called, everybody knows it, shout it out, Cats for Sale. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see the book. Now, unfortunately, you, my live audience, cannot see the book from where you are, but you will be able to watch this tonight on YouTube and you will be able to see it. So I'm going to share the screen, and I have Caps for Sale in a slideshow. Okay, and this is brought to us by the Harrington Park Education Association. Thank you for hosting this great event. And we are ready to read Caps for Sale, a tale of a peddler, some monkeys, and their monkey business. Now, my live audience, I'm going to need your help, okay? So when we are the monkeys, I need you to make that noise that's in the story, okay? I don't know. Somebody's whispering something to me. Could you go ooh, ooh, ah, ah? Maybe. Let's see when we get to that point. But we're not out of control because then it's too loud. Okay. Caps for Sale. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had on his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. He walked up and down the streets holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." And one morning he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street and he walked down the street calling, "Caps, caps for sale, 50 cents a cap." But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody wanted even a red cap. He began to feel hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he. And he walked out of town slowly, slowly, so as not to upset his caps. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First, his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. They were all there, so he went to sleep. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. But before standing up, he felt with his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place, and all he felt was his own checked cap. He looked to the right of him, no caps. He looked to the left of him, no caps. He looked in back of him, no caps. He looked behind the tree, no caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. You were right. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. You monkeys, you, he said, shaking a finger at them. You give me back my caps. But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, oh, this made the peddler angry, so he shook both his hands at them and said, you monkeys, you give me back my cap. But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, it says, and they know you can't see the words and you're acting out so great. I love it. But if they're following along, it's got to say, okay, great. Now he felt quite angry, so he stamped his foot and he said, you monkeys, you better give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, by this time, the peddler was really very, very angry, and he stamped both his feet and shouted, you monkeys, you must give me back my caps. But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, at last he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap and threw it to the ground and began to walk away. But then each monkey pulled off his cap, and all the gray caps, all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First, his own checked cap, then all the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, caps, caps for sale. 50 cents a cap. I was trying to get you to say it along with me. Say it along with me again. Go ahead. Caps, caps for sale. 50 cents a cap. And that's the end of Caps for Sale. Thank you so much for coming and watching us on YouTube for the Harrington Park School District, our Spartans, and we are celebrating Read Across America. So keep on reading, and thanks for coming. And thank you to my very special fourth graders for helping me read, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.